Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, for the many whom I've not had the pleasure of meeting this evening, my name is Steve Foley. And I'm the head of college and chief executive of St Leo's. And I'd like to welcome you all here this evening, and indeed I follow in the footsteps of previous rectors whom many of you will remember. Brother Vince Skelly, retired Colonel John Long, Jesuit Fathers Bill Uren, Greg Jordan, Michael Head, Jerry Healy, Vince Hurley, Brian Fleming and Tom Johnson, amongst others. And I'm truly delighted to welcome you to what is both a remarkable evening, standing on the shoulders of remarkable leaders. Tonight is in fact the single greatest gathering of Leonians of all time. In total, we have 1,070 men and women celebrating the lives that have united, that have, in some cases, united beyond just this evening. And I'd like to acknowledge those people tonight. Tonight we have Leonians from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s and the 2010s. And also have partners and sponsors the University of Queensland and the Catholic Diocese of Queensland here with us this evening. And I particularly acknowledge Bishop McGuckin of the Toowoomba Diocese and the Chancellor of the University of Queensland, Mr Peter Varghese AO. And note the significance of these gentlemen attending with us here tonight. I'd also like to acknowledge Dr Michael Carroll, Principal of St Joseph's Gregory Terrace, Dr Lyndall Bryant, Head of College and CEO of the Women's College, St Leo's inaugural Visiting Academic Fellows, Professor Ronan Deasley of the Queen's University Belfast School of Law, and Dr Frankie McCarthy of the University of Glasgow School of Law. I'd also like to acknowledge those people who travelled from interstate and overseas to be with us here this evening. And also call out to those Leonians working too far afield to make it back to Brisbane. Guys, if you've joined us remotely and if you're listening right now, we're thinking of you and we wish you were here. Cheers. I'm often asked what it means. I'm often asked what it is that the college experience brings to one's undergraduate life. and why colleges would take on the 24/7 responsibility of investing themselves in young adult lives. Why would anyone do it? And when I receive phone calls from UQ complaining that 30 or more of our men have been sprung swimming in the river, or creatively, thoughtfully and inclusively visiting their collegial spirit upon another fellow UQ college, these questions come into sharper relief. But when I learn that the young man whom I recall welcoming from St Pat's Gympie has in the space of 4 years become one of our 2 UQ graduates of the year, or the Leonian whose event planning for a slip and slide didn't contemplate how to manage a dislocated elbow, now manages a team of Airbus engineers, or the Leonian who found himself somehow locked in the catacombs when he was putting his fridge into storage one night, is now an emergency doctor at Queensland Health. Or the Leonian who hid in the industrial bin behind the snake pit after Troppo and who sprang out when the exec was emptying the rubbish, is now a project manager in Western Australia and who contacted me recently to ask if he could give back to up-and-coming Leonians. The reason is clear. St Leo's invests in young lives because they are the future. And the college is privileged and fortunate to have a window into the future as we work with these young people. And when the university rings me to complain that 30 of our men were sprung swimming in the river, I say to myself, we aren't running an old people's home, we are running a college for men. We are a home to 206 young men who are generous enough to share the golden years of their young adult lives with us. Sure, after 1 or 2 nights we might hear of something that didn't go exactly to plan. But these men will go on and work hard, and they will do great things for UQ and for St Leo's. Testimony to the importance and the goldenness of these years are the myriad Leonian Duchesne marriages, and also the Leonian women's marriages that go down here. Hands up, the women's, the Leos and Duchesne marriages. Where are you? Great to see you here. The same can be said of the Leo's men of 2017, these guys straight down the side here. Men who will go on through their own hard work and endeavour and who will achieve great things, whether that be in law, teaching, medicine, architecture, engineering, music, science, academia, physiotherapy or commerce. People who are enjoying the excitements and freedoms of being young while learning about the responsibilities and the life of living with their mates in a community like ours. I'd like to acknowledge the work of a great number of people who are part of this evening's event. Usually the St Leo's staff spend their time running St Leo's College. We do stuff like putting on tutorials, dealing with bedrooms that are uninhabitable, Michael ensuring there are 3 meals per day, 7 days per week, responding to crises, whether these be blocked toilets, failed assignments, girlfriend issues, or family bereavements. If you'll humour me for just a minute, we don't run balls. You'll probably all be aware we sold all the tickets for this evening's event in 7 minutes. At 9 a.m. on 19th of April, Wednesday 19th April, we put 1,070 tickets on the slab, and by 9:07 we had sold them all. The success, The success of our ticket sales and aligning the logistics of this evening is almost exclusively due to the work of our Director of Stakeholder Engagement, Shona Clayton. Please join me in thanking Shona. In many ways, in many ways, this gathering characterises the ambition the college has for reconnecting and nurturing relationships with its alumni and re-establishing those relationships for the benefit of the whole college community. On 1 January 2016, we had 60 old boys details in our database, and today we have nearly 2,000, all through Shona's persistent hard work and good humour. Tonight simply would not have been possible without our investing in the process of reconnecting. And frankly, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure finding out where you all got to after you left St Leo's and to establish the extraordinary things you've been up to since then. We promised to keep this evening's speeches short, and I intend upholding my part of that arrangement, so I'll close here with a fun fact. I commenced my association with St Leo's in 2009 when I was appointed the Vice Rector Students, but my appointment as Vice Rector wasn't my first exposure to a UQ college. I must confess, I spent my first year of my undergraduate studies at UQ at King's College. I know that comes as a profound shock and great disappointment to many of you who expected better of me. However, there is an upside to this alarming disclosure. This quirk of my college background leaves me uniquely well informed and positioned at UQ to make pronouncements about both the King's College community and so too the St Leo's College community. And from that unique vantage point, I encourage you all to take a moment to look around, because I think tonight we can confidently assert, with surety and conviction and beyond a shadow of a doubt, that St Leo's definitely has the biggest balls. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen, and happy birthday, St Leo's. But wait! What's that?